Welcome to C# for Crestron programming. In this video, we will look at the concept of null in C#. Checking for null before working with an object is part of the process of making your code more dynamic in the creation and modification of objects. We will be starting with a C# console app .NET Framework project called Checking for Null. The code setup has a globally scoped variable, int x, with no value initialized. There is a static void method called assign to x, which assigns a value to this global variable. Within the main method, we evaluate x using an if-else statement based on its value. If we run this code now, the console output shows x is 7. If the method called for assign to x is removed and the program is run again, we see that even without initialization, the int type variable will get an initial value. With regards to arrays, a similar built-in initialization takes place. With a numeric array, we would expect a 0 value. With a string array, from our experience with Simple Plus, we would expect an empty string for each item in the array. Running this code now shows that this is not true. Included with many objects and types is the built-in method of getType. This will simply report the current object type. When we run this, we are expecting system.string to be reported back for an item in a string array. However, a null reference exception is reported. Null is a placeholder for a reference type that has not been instantiated, has not been initialized to a value, or needs to exist in the program with no default value. It generates an error on the getType as it does not have and is not a type. In short, you are attempting an operation on an object that does not exist or have value. While most value type variables directly contain their data and cannot be set to null, when dealing with reference type objects, it is beneficial to check if they are null prior to attempting any operation on the object. Here, we evaluate the first index in our array against the keyword null. You can see in the output that xArray 0 is null, and as such, we could now initialize a value in the code block if required. Further to this, if the createArray method is commented out and the code is run again, we will see a null reference exception posted for any operation on the xArray object itself. We can resolve this by checking the parent object against null itself. You have now learned about the concept of null as a placeholder for an object. As you move further into object-oriented programming, checking for null will become an integral part of building more dynamic programs. Thank you for watching.